What's good, brother? How you living?
Good.
You ready?
Sliding back tomorrow.
You ready to head back?
I'm damn ready to head back. It's just like the second week. You know, I've been pushing out this work since the first week it dropped. Like, I was pushing out work before I got home. I got home pushing out work. I didn't even get a break for real.
How'd it turn out though?
It was cool. You know, when you have a goal and you have a plan for your life, and I said, on break, I'm selling 300 copies, or I'm a loser. Like, I didn't do it. The thing is, like, I won, and I feel like I had a bigger win than I realized. Because, you know, I went to Miss Edie, to Porter. I went to the high school back and forth. Like, I still go to school there. And then they said, you know, they're going to read it, you know, review it, send it to the district. And they're on board with sponsorship. And I feel like it's just something that takes time. Like,
it does.
A book is a, you know, lifetime investment.
And that's why people go on book tours and all that too.
Yeah. So
this is your life's work right now.
Yeah.
Dude. Like, this is gonna be here.
Yeah, after I'm going. Yeah. So I was trying to get like,
but that's the competitor.
Yeah, I'm just hustling, bro. But you know.
But that was what made your wins, though, bro.
Yeah.
For them to actually push it to the district level.
Yeah. And they said they're on board. They said, oh yeah,
of course they're on board.
They got dudes in high school. They said, oh yeah, they have this thing called a group of kids that's at risk group. And then they were like, go talk to them, especially focus on them. And then go around ELA class, because they gotta have it under some group.
Oh yeah.
If you're taking funds like 2,000, you feel me? You gotta have it for something. So
connected to a class.
Yeah, just, you know, do a little seminar, get a PowerPoint.
English is literature. It could be many different classes in
schools. Honestly, I feel like that's a big dub in itself, right?
It's a major,
yeah,
bruh. Ain't nobody pulling that off.
Yeah,
there's adults who can't pull that off.
Yeah, so I'm good. I
good.
I had this conversation with Idehen, and she was like, calm down. Like, I told her I was pissed off because I wasn't selling that 300. I was like, why am I going back to Taos and I still got books? But you winning. Yeah, you won. Yeah, you wrote the book. Very, very productive break.
When you wrote the book, that's when you won, bro.
Yeah.
That's when the win that's when the win came. Because that ain't an easy thing to do, brother. Mm-hmm. And the mere fact that you even had sold however many you had sold, and you were like, man, this ain't enough. That in itself was a win.
Yeah.
How many people let alone write a book, let alone get money and paid off the book?
Yeah. And that's part of the story that I'm going to tell about. You know, the slogan I got, Embark on your journey to becoming. You know, I went to the middle school too.
When you gonna start recording, bro?
Oh, we already did. Come on. Come on, bro. I know all that preliminary songs that we got. I can't miss on all that. Come on.
You learn.
Come on. So I went to the middle school, and I was talking to them about identity crisis. It's like at that age for me, I was 13, 14 going into high school, and I was still trying to figure out, why am I on earth? Like, what's my purpose? What am I doing here? Like, what's up? And just having that influence over the kids, man, it's so major. Like, honestly, I was so tired, but like after I did, because I got there at 8, I left at 4. I did a whole shift. You feel me? Like, I was there the whole day, but just to see them kids, bruh. And
that fed you, didn't it?
Yeah, fed me. I had parents email me saying, you don't even know, you feel me? You don't even know how much you impacted my son's life. Like, he was really going through it.
Things.
I said, dang.
Collect all of those responses.
Yeah.
Those are testimonials, bro.
Yeah.
Start collecting all of them. Yeah. Soon enough, you're going to have to add some of them to your website.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Just like it's a little like...
Because they're now speaking to you, the person. Mm-hmm. Your character, your influence and impact on their young one.
Yeah.
Because when a parent sees that their child is happy, they're beyond happy.
Yeah.
That's how this works. Mm-hmm. And the mere fact that you impacted these number of children's lives to the point where their parents heard about it and took it upon themselves to send you messages. That speaks volumes, young brother.
Yeah.
And these are the things that I don't want you to lose sight of, because we can focus on the selling of the book when the real impact is on the experience with the people. Yeah. Because that's where our blessings come from.
Because I was listening to some stuff about Eric Thomas. It's like when you tap into your gift, man, it's like everything else come with it.
Everything else,
man. Like I
everything else.
wasn't even focused on the bread. Like cash isn't the problem for me and my family. Like we good. It's just the hustle, bro. I can get caught up in the whole, like I'm a grinder. Let's go to work, and I'm like, okay, I gotta sell, just for the, you feel me, accolade of I sold this many amounts. But in the midst of me trying to sell, I realized it's bigger than that, bro.
It's way bigger than that.
Yeah,
it's always bigger than that, because these are just dollars.
Yeah, cash come and go, bro.
Cash will come and go. You'll blow through so much cash in your lifetime before it's all said and done. You'll look back and just smile.
Yeah, because
you can recoup it.
Yeah.
What we cannot recoup is the time and the energy we have and the experiences we have with people. Especially as it relates to how they're impacted for the better. Why do you think I spent all that time smiling from ear to ear as I was in them classes?
Yeah, playing C's. People want to come to school.
Bingo.
They want to. Oh, I can't wait to get a Mr. Shiancoe class.
Brother, when I started hearing you all say that you looked forward to my classes,
yeah,
you were not you because you didn't technically officially sign up for my classes, but you still showed up.
Yeah.
But when I started hearing students who had actually registered for it and were in the class say things like, "This is the class that I look forward to. This is the class, or your classes make me want to come to school." I couldn't sell. That's like Kobe saying, I got fans looking at me and they paying their hard-earned dollars. What am I doing sitting out a game?
Yeah.
I can't miss the game because they might have saved their whole life to make it to that one game to watch me.
You're not going to deliver.
And I'm not going to be out there?
Not true.
That's how I look at it.
Yeah.
Right? When I realized that you all genuinely actually appreciated me being in that building, that's why I would never, ever, ever be out. I don't know if you remember when COVID happened, the first part of COVID, when school started, I was on a knee scooter.
For real.
Because I had my surgery for my Achilles when I ruptured it that summer.
Yeah.
July 30th, that thing exploded. Like legit.
Out of nowhere?
We were playing. That's when we were doing our. It was summertime. We were doing our adult kickball league.
Yeah. Up
at Walnut Creek. But anywho, so that happened.
Yeah.
And I had surgery August 21st.
It's 2020, 2021.
This is 2020.
Yeah. Okay.
2020, pandemic.
Yeah.
Or actually, yeah, we had decided to go back to school when we showed back up.
Oh yeah, I didn't go to school 2020.
That's right. You didn't go in the building.
Yeah, I wasn't in the building first semester.
That's when we started doing virtual school and all that.
Yeah. They had an option to come in. My dad was like, "Yeah, stay at the crib."
Exactly. But my want, and I'm telling you this because it's kind of relevant to what you're saying.
Yeah.
In terms of your experience, in my mind, I'm trying. I had just come out of surgery, not even a full week, and I'm actually back in school already. Then this is like when teachers showed up, not even when students showed up. And I'm literally on my knee scooter telling myself that I got this. But what I didn't realize is that there's a process that has to take place after you go through surgery. I never had surgery before.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, I got this. I got a knee scooter now, I can move around.
I'm cool.
Exactly. But then when I got home that day, brother, all of my blood had rushed down into that area of my leg.
Yeah.
And it was throbbing. The cast, I felt like the cast was my leg was going to explode in the cast.
Dang.
Because I had finally sat down
and
relaxed. And now all of a sudden, I knew something wasn't right. But what I realized is that I can't move like I used to move. And I had to really just sit my behind down and let this thing take its full course. But I was rushing myself because I felt like I had to be in that building for every one of them students that was looking forward to coming back because they were in my class.
Yeah. If you try to rush it, it's gonna explode.
Right. Bingo.
Okay. So
you get it, don't you?
I got it.
Because life happens and we gotta let life play itself out.
Yeah.
when we go through surgery, we have to relax so the body can get back to itself and begin to heal and go through that process. We can't rush none of this stuff.
Yeah.
That's really the point.
Yeah.
You did the hard part by actually writing the book. And then you got it published. And you did everything else in between to market it leading up to it being released. And then the orders came in and you were fulfilling and you still have been fulfilling. That's enough.
Urban Keyz run the world.
I'm good.
You're great.
I'm good. The thing is, I realized, like, looking back on all the things that I did, all the home visits that I made, because I do it face to face. Like, I text, old coach, old, mentor, family friend, and I drop it off to their house because I want to have those face-to-face conversations. It's not the same getting the package in the mail or, ordering online. Like, I like to sign it too. Every book I gave, I signed it, made a little note in there.
And I really appreciated mine, by the way.
Oh, yeah, most definitely. First one to grab it.
Man, look.
First one to grab it.
What? It had to be the one.
Yeah, and even those conversations that I had, seeds planted, like, there's so many, like, now I'm seeing it, like, see, like, Google Maps, like, little dots all over, you feel me, all over, my state. As I go back to Maryland, it's just a whole bunch of states, a whole bunch of little dots all over, you feel me, like, I'm doing, planting this, planting that, planting this, planting that, all over, and I just gotta relax and let the seed grow. Because I'm trying to be the planter and the gardener. Like, I'm trying to water it, you feel me, and I'm trying to put out rain, I'm trying to get the sunlight.
You learn quick, young brother.
Come on. And I just gotta, it takes time for a forest to grow.
It takes time.
Even though I heard one of these quotes from a good family friend, his name is Jermaine Fetty. He said, there's a forest inside of an apple seed.
Yes, sir.
Like, how minute and how small the apple seed is can make a whole rainforest. Yes, and that's like, I'm having rainforest visions, but it takes time. You feel me? Like, and I'm trying to get it by the time I'm 20. Like, by 20, I should be straight. But I'm like, bro, I'm only 18 right now. I find it hard to just pat myself on the back sometimes. And that's really, like, people who out there hustling, bro. People out there trying to make things happen. Like, slow down and just, eat up what you've already done, bro. Like, sit down and congratulate yourself. I don't like to just sit in that hole. Like, because when I feel like if I congratulate myself, I'm going to get too comfortable. Like,
so hear me say this. I feel you and I understand exactly where you're coming from. I'm just now learning to celebrate moments and accomplishments. I turned 40 last year and I'm just now learning to celebrate, right? And here's what I'll say to you, because I can relate and understand exactly where you're coming from. But you also need to hear from an outsider's perspective that you have done quite well. You've done phenomenally well. And I'm not even talking just this book.
Urban Keyz run the world.
You just accomplished your first full semester of college, and you handled your business as it relates to why you were there, and that's academics first. You dominated in terms of GPA and the metric that dictates domination in that arena, and that's the GPA. 4.0, first semester, out the gate. And then you add on the other things that you accomplished on the football field, during practice, and all of that. Because that's secondary.
yeah.
Right?
Student athlete.
Bingo. Student first, right?
Yeah.
So you dominated the student part, and you begin the process to dominating your
Urban
athlete
Keyz run the
part.
world.
Because as an athlete, I know it ate you up to not be out there as much as you wanted to be.
Yeah, but it's whole process.
But it's all part of the process.
Now I can end up getting a master's paid for.
Woo!
I really step back and realize, like, when people graduate, you're paying off college. Bro, when I graduate, I'm out the gates. Like, I don't have to pay for any school. I don't have any debt. Like, I'm debt free.
And you will stay that way.
Yeah, for the rest of my life.
You'll be one of the few to be able to say that.
Yeah, and you coming out of college with money. People coming out of college paying things off. Like,
Right.
so by the time I graduate, let's say I'm 22, 23, God, when I go to the league, and you go to the league, that's a whole different story. Let's just say I don't go to the NFL, like, I'm straight. Like, all the things that I'm doing, business probably going, I don't know where I'm going to be. Honestly, the things that I do,
no idea.
I got no
ready to shake up.
I got no clue where I'm going to be.
You've already published and released a book.
Yeah.
Just as a at the end of your first semester of college, you published your first book.
Yeah. And I started writing this when I was 17, honestly. We got published when I was 18. I turned 19 in March, so.
There you go.
You're
still 18.
Yeah, I gotta cool it.
Just live.
Yeah, but, reverting back to what I told these kids about, the identity crisis, man. It's really real, especially for, kids going from that, adolescent age, teenage years and transitioning into adult life. Like middle school, and especially going from middle school to high school, it's a hard pivot.
Grade is one of the hardest grades.
Hard pivot, bro. I remember even for me, I told them like me coming from Nigeria, man. And I was born in Nigeria, moved here, Charlotte, lived in Charlotte for a year, and then I grew up in Indiana, South Carolina, and that wasn't the easiest thing, bro.
No, it's
like,
not.
Having the surroundings and the people that I was around, the dynamic, it just didn't complement my nationality.
I can relate.
It didn't. I feel like I phrased that good. It didn't compliment my nationality, and there was a lot of times when I questioned myself and like, I got this crazy story, man. We had fufu for we had fufu, and there was this kid. I'm not gonna say his name, but he came over. This was when I was in elementary school. My brother was in middle school. We rode the bus together and all that. Lived in the neighborhood. Came over. Of all days, bro.
He came on
Of all days, bro. My mom always said, "Oh, you're hungry, yo. Come. I just started to eat." I said, "Bro, no way.
He ain't ready,
bro." And then we eat fufu with your hands, bro. And then he's like, "Bro," he's like, "Y'all don't got no spoons?" I said, "Bro." And then the next day, bro, he on the bus cooking us, bro. I'm like, dang! Like, oh yeah, I went to their house. They ain't have no spoon. We eating their hands. Blah blah blah. They this and that. I'm like, bro, first of all, we live in the same neighborhood. Even if we were like, regardless, like we live in the same neighborhood. So the demographic and the dynamic, the economic stability has to be somewhat similar, like that. But he couldn't fathom that. When we were in middle school, you see somebody eating with their hands, you gonna cook them. So I'm just like, dang. Even like from food to the culture to all the things that you wear, man. How you express yourself, like what's right, what's wrong, morals is so different. And I was just like, bro, what is this? Like, why am I here?
When I first came, Dunk, I was in 5th grade.
Yeah.
I remember the first time, and it was literally the first day I ever walked into the class. Mm-hmm. I heard students talking back to the teacher.
Yeah.
This is 5th grade.
Yeah.
And in my mind, I'm like, wait a minute. I'm expecting something getting ready to happen.
Yeah.
Because you know where we from.
Yeah.
That's unacceptable.
Can't do that.
You never do that.
I don't even think about doing that.
So it was a culture shock for me.
Mm-hmm.
And I can relate to the things that you're saying because a lot of things threw me off when I first got here. Yeah. Like my whole world was just shaking and it shook for a long time.
Yeah.
You see what I mean?
So just 5th grade, I started trying to be cool. I got my first pair of J's for my 13th birthday. I remember my dad, he's like, "What these Jordan?" Like, bro, I saw these cool kids, they were wearing them elite socks, wearing some LeBron lows came out. That's when the iPhone 6S came out. Now, Dad, I'm trying to be cool. Everybody got that sweet stuff. I'm like,
get in there.
Yeah, I'm trying. You feel me? And he got my first pair of Jordans for my birthday. I was in 5th grade. I was in 13. I think I was like 12, 11, 12, something like that. I don't know what age you are in 5th grade, but I remember getting my first pair of Flight 23s. I did not take them Jones. Oh, bro, I walked in with some swag that day, bro. But it's like I was doing so many things to just have people look at me and just fit in. It's like I was always that kid that's like, this is them and this is me. Like I'm on the complete other spectrum. And then it just hit me one day, bro. I'm like, what am I doing? It's like, bro, it's so much harder to be somebody else than to be yourself. When you just, come to terms with who you were made to be, that's when life goes on cruise control.
And you start living.
And I started living, bro. And I got a high school, I wasn't there, but I was like, all right, let me, you feel me, try to do my own thing. And then I started making, some solid friends. And then people started attracted to a light because you shine brighter when you're yourself. And it's like,
tell them, man. Tell them.
You just shine brighter when it's your authentic light. That's what I was telling the kids, bro. It's like, you don't got to go into high school trying to be, big dog, big huncho, be that student athlete, be that dude that everybody trying. You feel me? Like, relax, bro. Just do your own thing. Know what your parents taught you. Stick to your morals. Stick to what you know. Stick to the code, bro. And you're going to be straight.
Always.
So sophomore year, I started turning up. That's when I played varsity freshman year, but I was playing behind Dorian Williams. Dorian Williams is about to go to the NFL, bro. D-Will about to go to the league. So I ain't touched the field until, last 2 games. Sophomore year is when it started kicking off. And then that's when I started. I started a linebacker sophomore year. Junior year is when COVID and all that happened. And it seemed, I feel like that's when I really tapped in. Like, okay, bro, this is the last year. Let's go out, with a bang. I was coming to school with trick, I remember. But I wasn't scared to be myself because that's who I am. Like, I'm the dude that's low key, but you gonna see me. Like, it's like I'm not crying for attention, but it's like you can't just ignore it.
And I appreciated that about you.
So it's like they got dudes trying to say this and that. Oh, look at me, but I'm just walking. And that's how I tell people to look at me. And by my actions speak. By how I slid, like how I maneuvered. You know what I'm saying? And so I just feel like when I really stepped into my authentic self, I started doing podcasts with you. This was like 4th or 5th one. I was like, whoa, I started attaining knowledge. Like I figure out I'm somebody that likes knowing. Like I'm hungry for knowledge. I'm hungry for truth. I'm hungry for what's real out there. And I started tapping into that, bro. I started getting into the word. I started to get into myself. I started locking in with football and my talents. And I started being very intellectual because that's who I was created to be, bro. And it's like, I don't have to be, the most popular. But I'm telling you, influence comes with being authentic.
And being who you're supposed to be.
Yeah, bro.
Without having to say it.
Trying to put up a facade. Like, I'm this dude, that dude. Nah, bro. People know who you are.
They will always know.
I know who you are, bro. So it's just emphasis on, knowing your true identity. I feel like identity crisis is higher than people realize. Especially with social media. People think you gotta live this certain way to get this certain level of influence. Like, you don't need, the crazy wit, the crazy house. Like, the house is gonna come when you tap into yourself. And that's something that I really, grasp from Eric Thomas. I listen to that dude, like,
I know.
all the time. And it's like, people chase low-hanging fruit. Low-hanging fruit is a car and a house and, money. Like, when you chase what's at the top, everything from the bottom falls up to the top.
That's it.
And then you're going to get it regardless. Like, you're not even going to be looking for it. It's going to come
comes to you.
So many testimonials of people just wanting to do things for me because of my virtues and my characteristics. And I'm not even expecting it. Sometimes I'm like, wow, I didn't even know that was coming from there. Or, I didn't even know that bread was coming from there. They send me money, send me this. Or let me do this for you. I got this opportunity for you. Just because of a good name. A man's name is worth more than money.
That's it.
Like, I spend time trying to build my character and build good rapport with the people. Everybody I talk to is yes ma'am, no ma'am, yes sir, no sir. Shake your hand and smile.
Yes sir.
And people gonna remember your face and how you. One thing I remember coming out of high school, people will never remember how popular we're. How many tackles you have in the field, All-American, all this, all that. They gonna remember how you treated them and how you made them feel.
That's it.
And that's for life. Like, people, 20 years from now, they gonna talk about how I made them feel, and I did my best to make sure that I was on good terms with everybody. Even if we had a dispute, if we had a disagreement or any strife, I do my job to make sure that it's straight. Like, cause I don't need conflict, especially the trajectory that I'm going, bro. I don't need anybody trying to say he did this or that. You feel me? So I'm doing my best to make sure that I'm on good terms with everybody. And not even just good terms, that I made them feel known and recognized and special.
And know that you're gonna do the best in doing that because I know you. But at the end of the day, there are always gonna be people out here who misunderstand. And there will always be people out here who also will misinterpret the intention. And they will take on their own perceptions of whatever it is and they might find something at fault with you for their own reasons and none of your own. Because as much as we can do the things that you're saying, there are always people out here who always somehow see things differently.
Yeah.
And the thing is, we just got to keep it moving and not let that really take us off our course. Because you've got too much in you and ahead of you. And the world is truly fortunate to have somebody like Dunk. And these young people, there's so many of them, even the ones that you will never meet, that will be influenced and impacted by you for the better because of how you're living. Not because you sat down and talked to them like we are or anything. It's because they're paying attention, they're watching, and they're seeing, and that's what they go off of. You know this, right?
Yeah. Anyone with that though, the challenge isn't getting to the top. It's staying there.
That's it.
And I feel like now I'm at a point where it's like, bro, if you going forward, you're gonna keep going. And I feel like you just need one slip up, one incident, one accident. It's like, dang, remember Dumkele, the dude that wrote that book? Nah, that's
won't be you.
Far away from me.
Won't be you.
And that's
not your story.
Every day. Every day you're working to just sustain.
Man, the fact that you're at this level of consciousness and awareness about who you are and what you know you're here to do, even though you may not know exactly the details of how it all plays out, but you're still choosing to do and be who you are and just be a man of respect for all people. There are adults who don't get this, Dunk. And it amazes me and even inspires me even more so, because you're part of the evidence and proof of the reason why I went into the classroom to teach. To be able to showcase and demonstrate and show the world that, hey, look, this is a generation that if we do our parts and do right by them and truly listen to and take action in supporting them, they will amaze us. And I hope that this is now being recorded. I'm glad this is now being recorded.
Yeah.
Because that's the premise of why I chose to go into the classroom. That was my why. And I hope that you can verify that I actually proved that.
Yeah.
and we're still proving it. Because it's not even about me.
Yeah.
It's about the simple fact that, hey, if we the adults truly do our jobs and do right by you all, first by listening and demonstrating what we're expecting from you that we call respect, by first showing it to you and giving it to you and helping you see what we're asking for. When we say we want you to respect us,
actually showing what that means and what it looks like.
Bingo. Versus just demanding it. No one gets what they demand.
Yeah. You gotta make them want to give it to you, though.
Right. No one gets things because they're demanding it. Right? People have to willingly want to.
Urban Keyz run the world.
Yeah, a lot of times it's young dudes, I just don't want to. Like, why am I treating this person like that? A lot of disrespect comes from disrespect being given.
Because they're mirroring what they're getting.
Yeah. People these days don't believe, I'm sorry, but they don't believe in orthodox, beliefs that, you respect your parents even though they're disrespecting you. I mean, there's some people out there, it's like, respect your parents at all costs, but at the same time, parents are still human beings, and they're not flawless. And I know when I'm a father, I'm not going to be flawless towards my kids, but all I ask about my children is, reciprocate what you're given.
That's it.
And it gotta be on the adults too. Like, it gotta be on them.
To your point,
to push out what you want to receive.
To your point,
yeah,
I'm a firm believer that whatever we want the most is what we give the most.
Give and it should be given to you.
Whatever it is we want the most of, we should go out and give the most of it, without expecting anything in return either. But because we want it so badly, we got to be first willing to give it.
Yeah.
across the board to whoever we come across. And I use the example of respect because that to me that proved to me that this works. I literally said to myself, you know what? I could be the adult and just be that person that when even anyone says anything that I don't agree with, I can go off on them and do whatever or say whatever. Or regardless of how badly a student says anything to me, I'm going to compose myself and basically approach it from the perspective of they don't know any better. Because I'm the adult in the situation, right?
Yeah.
And I want to earn their respect, not demand it. And the only way that I know I'm going to be able to receive their respect is by first giving them the level of respect that I'm also expecting in return. And each day, Dumkele, I would see that in action. Because part of the reason why you choose to associate and continuously come to me is because you know that I genuinely respect you. Am I making that up?
Yes, sir.
Since day one, when you and I were introduced by David, you knew right then and there that I respected you. Did you not?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
You were in 8th grade, were you not?
Yeah.
So to me, it's not about the age, it's about the actual respect.
Yeah. It's about age. Technically, I shouldn't even talk to you.
Correct.
We're on a respectable level. We have things
Correct.
that
We respect
give
each other.
I have things that you need, and you have a lot of things that I need.
I learned a ton from you.
Experience and things like that. So
I learned
respect,
mutual respect because I genuinely do learn from you when I sit down and speak with you. Each time I'm around you, I learn something. Because I'm a student. I'm always a student. Even in my classes, I told my students that, look, yes, I'm supposed to be your teacher, so to speak, but I'm also here first to learn. If I'm not learning, this is not working.
Yeah.
Because it goes both ways. This is not a I know it all, end all be all. I'm a student first, always. Even though I may have more expertise on the topic that we're here for, but at the end of the day, I'm here to learn.
It's like everybody on earth has a different perspective on how the world looks.
Facts.
Everybody sees things differently through their eyes. There's nobody that has the exact same point of view as everybody on earth. From different characteristics to different experiences growing up.
Correct.
To how where you were raised and what home you had. Everybody has their own outlook on what the world is and what the world should look like. So it's like, are you gonna have that, closed-mindedness on this is how the world is and this is how it should be, and disrespect all the things that everybody can input to your life? Because there's a lot of things that you can learn from other people by just having an open mind. And once your mind opens up a little more, I feel like people are so constricted on their viewpoints that they don't want to listen to the other person. That's where the disrespect comes.
Bingo.
But if you just sit down, you soak up what the person in front of you has to say. You don't always have to agree, but you don't have to disrespect them in your disagreement.
Nope.
Like me and you can go into something, we might bump heads, but it's like, okay, that's cool. You can agree to disagree.
That's it.
And that's it. But people have their own viewpoints. If you don't slide the way I slide, we gotta bark at each other. But it doesn't always have to be like that. Like, see what the other person sees, and open your eyes to different viewpoints and things like that. That's when y'all can come to that consensus of, okay, I respect you because even though we don't see things eye to eye, you have that maturity to sit down and eat up what I have to say. You don't have to swallow it, but you still chewed it up.
That's it.
You can choose to spit it back out when you get back home, and that's your own deal. But at least you listen, and you didn't have to apply it. But that's when I'm talking to you. Like, your teachers have way more experience than you in this life, and they're learning from you in the process as well. So like when I'm talking about cats going to school and you skipping class and all that, they don't want to be in class because their teacher's not trying to hear what they gotta say. So even it's a mutual thing, man. Humans were made to interact with each other, but that's really it. Just to wrap things up, my journey be coming out now, available on my website. Dumkelechukwu.com and on Amazon.com. Lock in and stock up. That's what it is. But appreciate Mr. Shiancoe, another time. Always a good time with you. I appreciate you.
My door is always open, dude.
Oh yeah.
You know how to find me.
Oh yeah. But yeah, I appreciate y'all for listening. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. Embark on your journey to plumbing. Let's get it.